Are these fragrances or museums? It's absolutely insane.
Here's some codes to save you some cash on your next Middle Eastern niche or designer fragrances.
What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about some crazy ass looking bottles. Prides by Fragrance World. Wait, what? By Fragrance? Yeah. Prides by Fragrance World. So these are the pride and joys of Fragrance World. Fragrance World being one of my favorite, it's not even my favorite. They're absolutely killing the game, aside from the facts. I mean, you guys, some heavy ass dropping fragrances that hit us this year was Lumiere Garçon, Liquid Brune, Jack of Clubs was fire. Was it this year or was it last? I think that was last year. Mirage, Pinus White. I mean, look at the facts. Shit's crazy. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let's dive right into it now. Now that we're stuck. One more minute. Did you hit it yet? All right, cool. So what we have here is Pride and Pride by Night. So the lighter color gradient is going to be the Pride by, yeah. I'm so colorblind, you guys, it's not even funny. But the lighter color gradient is gonna be the Pride, which is Pride by Day, I guess you can call it. And Pride by Night is gonna be this more gunmetal style rather than this stainless steel. Also, the bottle in itself has a darker color gradient with the white etchings. And what's absolutely stunning about these bottles is that the engravings, rather than matching the actual Museum of Dubai, it actually says Utur al-Alam in Arabic all over them. I think it's phenomenal touch. The bottles in themselves, you might be wondering, how the hell do you open this thing? Well, there's like a little plastic notch that you can snap it into place, but also, so you remove that notch. Also, you want to be careful not to just snap it open because you will break that atomizer. Although I've tried a little bit, it's not that easy. You want to just slide it up from one side. So to put it back, you slide it back on, align it properly, and it clicks right into place. Beautiful fragrance. The actual box in itself, the dome did not break, which is fantastic. And this has like this custom mold cutout where you can slide in and lock the fragrance into place. And it's in there pretty well. I wouldn't suggest you do this because it did fall a couple times when I didn't have it locked into place. But to get it back out, you just slide it back out of place and there you go. So as far as the bottle presentation, box presentation, I think it's absolutely outstanding. A+ for the design team. With the boxes out of the way, let's get into the scent profile of Pride, the day version, if you will. So as you can see, the when you open it up, it is kind of oblong shaped, but the bottom does have a base that you can rest it just like that. The atomizer on this gets the job done, and actually better than just gets the job done. As you can see, it's pretty nice. And this has notes of, official notes of bergamot, ginger, pink pepper, middle notes of rose, saffron, benzoin, and the base notes of patchouli, vanilla, ambergris, and ambrosionite. And this smells like all of those notes, basically. You get this pineapple-y style fragrance. It does kind of remind me of Aventus, but much more than just that. To say that it was just an Aventus inspo would be absolutely wrong because of the fact that this has a lot more than just the pineapple, blackcurrant, and birch. In fact, I don't really get much of that birch. It's more so of like this patchouli. And what mostly also contributes some of that freshness is going to be this zingy ginger backed up with like this spiced, slightly metallic style saffron in every good way. I, generally speaking, don't like the synthetic metallic notes, but the way that it's blended in this one is actually very, very nice. Attention grabbing, popping, slightly spiced at the top, actually pretty significantly spiced. I love the note of pink pepper, so for me, I don't really see it as, you know, a lot of spice. And fresh, crisp, spice, elegant. Man, this is regal. Smells like $1,000,000, man. It doesn't necessarily smell exactly like Aventus, but you are going to be placed in those similar vibes for sure. A lot more of this ambroxan kick, and it basically just smells kind of like a more intense saffron-y, ginger citrus fragrance. If you like those fresh style fragrances that does the citruses, the pineapples, and the woods, you absolutely need to get your nose on this one. One of the most expensive smelling fragrances in that realm. There is also a sophistication to this touch of rose that's in there, and I would personally say that the notes of this one is absolutely true. Not an actual dupe or clone of anything. Really enjoying this one. It will remind you of certain vibes, but it has a lot more going to it than just that. It smells like money. It smells like money, genuinely. If you like those intense, fresh, in-your-face ambroxan DNAs, you're absolutely gonna love this one. It's exactly that, very intense. Now moving on to the other one, which is Pride by Night. I've got the official notes here, which include juniper berry, lemon, bergamot, and clary sage at the top. And in the mid, we've got tea, sandalwood, olibanum, and cardamom. Base, we've got cashmere and amber, patchouli, and cedarwood. And this is quite different. In fact, I get something very significant of orris, which I'm surprised is not actually in the note breakdown. It could potentially be just an accord that I'm getting, which is a combination of notes, recreating that vibe. But I get this orris, sandalwood, some peppers, and a hefty dose of cedarwood, and some ambers, resins. I do get that amber, I do get the olibanum, and this smells like a rooty, earthy take on something of orris. So if you like the note of iris, iris or orris, if you know the relationship differences between the note of orris and iris. I personally love the iris that goes towards like the makeup, lipstick, think DHI, Dior Homme Intense, etc. This one doesn't go in that realm. This one goes more towards like a patchouli, earthy style of orris. And in fact, it actually has the supporting note of patchouli, just emphasizing more on that earthy vibe to it. There are slight fresh aspects to it, but also oriental and spiced aspects to it. This kind of places me in the vein of certain fragrances like Ralph's Club Elixir, although this one being a lot more polarizing than something like that. I'm not saying that this smells like that by any means, but if you think about that fragrance, it's got orris, incense, and peppers as well with some wood. And that's the only relationship that I draw with this one and that one. This one being a little bit more testy and challenging, having a bit more accords that'll definitely challenge you a bit more. I am starting to get a little bit of that tea in the sandalwood, but it's absolutely high quality stuff. That's the moral of the story and the takeaway. These are developing fragrances that do transition and change. I haven't necessarily worn this one out in public yet because it's been summertime. This is one that you would definitely reserve for the fall and the winter time. Now, in terms of my experience with Pride Day, this is one that I wore and I absolutely loved rocking this one, but I smelled like it was way too expensive smelling for just like the gym. I wore it to the gym and it wasn't necessarily something that got me, you know, the most attention, but it's important to note that I wasn't really getting close to people during the daytime basically. But when I sprayed this on, I smelled like I should be going on like a, you know, a meeting style lunch or something like that. It just smelled way too expensive. In terms of the longevity, I got about 8 hours out of this fragrance. I'm not gonna say that it gave me too much more than that, but it was projecting solid the entire freaking time. I'm not even thinking like 3-4 hours. The entire time I could smell myself. And it's very likely that after, you know, I got home, I took off my clothing and I just stopped looking for it. And that's pretty much it. The occasions would be high-end dinners, not necessarily dates or like summertime where you just want to smell like $1,000,000. Now with this fragrance, I rocked it more so around the house, during bedtime, etc. And it did have like this very comforting but exuding class style, more rugged DNA. The quality is what I focused mostly on with this one. I couldn't really appreciate it outside, and I can't really give you guys too much of a report for the longevity, but it does smell like a fragrance that's going to last a pretty long time. In terms of the occasions, very specifically for those winter and fall days, but it's one that I would personally see myself appreciating during the festive holiday seasons, maybe going for like family dinners, etc., where I want to be noticed, but it isn't something that I would like, you know, seduce somebody with, basically. Nevertheless, both of these smell excellent in terms of the quality. They're freaking 10 out of 10s. The bottles themselves is something enough for me to pick up the bottles genuinely, at least for me. So the juice inside them being quality is only the icing on top, the cherry on top, basically. So that's pretty much it, what I think about the Prides. As soon as these things come available, check the community tab. I will be placing that listing on the community tab as to where and when you can pick these bad boys up. Let me know down in the comment section if you're interested in grabbing these. And for a little bit more context, if you didn't catch it in the beginning, these are inspired by the Museum of Art in Dubai. It's like the known monument, basically, or the known architectural structure that Dubai is known for, basically. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and until the next one, peace.